Hello world, and we are back. My name's Kyle Fischl. This is going to be episode 36 of my poker vlog, and I'm going to talk about a session that occurred yesterday. It was January 18th. I went on quite a roller coaster of a session, and a quick note before I get into the hands is that this Friday, January 24th, I'm going to be at the Seminole Hard Rock in Tampa. Anyone in the area, comment below. I'll be there at nighttime. Come say hi, maybe grab a drink at the bar afterwards. So for first interesting hand, there's one limper and the player to my direct right makes it 20. I'm in late-ish position. I have ace-10 offsuit. I think it's definitely strong enough to play. Not quite strong enough to 3-bet, so I'm going to stick along. One of the blinds and the limper calls. So 4 ways to a flop, which is queen 10-7 with 2 diamonds. It checks all the way to the pre-flop aggressor. He checks as well. Me last to act. I'm just going to check. See if I can approve. Well, turn is an offsuit 4. Doesn't change anything. When it checks all the way to me a second time, my plan is just put out a bet here and then be able to check down the river because I don't think the pre-flop aggressor or any other player in the hand would check 2 times with a queen. I bet 40 for some straightforward value. It folds to the pre-flop aggressor on my direct right, who makes it 125. It makes no sense to me because I guess the only hand he's really saying he has is pocket queens or some kind of a draw. But since I have position on him, I think I can call this and reevaluate on the river. He's definitely a recreational player, so I don't know if he's just going to put out some really weird move and then shut down when he reaches some resistance. So I call. The river is an offsuit 8, and he begins to assemble a bet of 150. And he adds 50 more. And he adds 50 more. Then he adds a 25. And he bets 275. Slowly. In my experience, that is always the, I need this guy to fold. I need this guy to fold. I hope he folds for this much. Just my BS radar's firing on all cylinders. There's no way he has anything. However, I do think that it's air or it's exactly Jack 9 who raised with a open-ender and then somehow got there. He shouldn't have too many diamonds since I have the ace of diamonds, so that's one flush draw. Like, you can't have like ace king of diamonds or ace jack of diamonds. I don't really know what else he could have besides Jack 9, and I just fold. It's very early on the session, and I'm not really willing to call off $300 with not even top pair. I'll let this one go. There'll be more spots later. And he shows king jack of diamonds. It's a good play, I guess. Good for him.
Here, block it.
Shortly after that, against the same player, we have a similar dynamic happen. Things got a little bit interesting. So, one limper to him, he makes it 20. I call, limper calls. So we're going 3 ways to a flop this time, which is king 3-4. I have pocket 8s. All right, so now we know this player is capable of bluffing. We're going to try to use that against him later. Checks to him, and this time he bets $25. And I think it's time to raise as a bluff, because how often does he actually have a king? The only overcard to me. So I raise to 85. Limper folds. Pre-flop aggressor puts in the call. The turn is a queen. Me thinking that I could rep king queen, maybe even get ace king to fold, or some kind of a weak king, and any other pocket pair that was disbelieving, 10s, jacks. I can get a lot of stuff to fold here. When he checks to me, I make it 125, and he thinks about it for at least a minute and a half before calling. So prepared to load up on this river, get it through. The river's a 10, and that is one that I'm not willing to continue on because I think king 10 is a likely possibility with how long he was thinking about it. He'll snap off this if he just rivered 2 pair. So he checks to me. I think about it for a bit and decide to just check it back, and he has king jack again. And very friendly recreational player, said he would have folded to any bet, and I'm like, he was outplaying me in the early stages. He's able to unleash that last shell, and I'm not. So he's 2-0 against me. either way, good for that player. He left shortly after with nearly $2,000. You know, anyone can make it at this 2-5 game. Next interesting hand. With several limpers to me, I'm on the button with ace 10 of diamonds. I make it $30 and I get 4 callers. So we're 5 ways to a flop, which comes 10, 4, deuce, 1 diamond. When it's checked to me, and I actually, I have a fantastic hand, I can bet for straightforward value at top. I bet 75 thinking that, random 2 overs might call and any worse 10's going to call. So 75, half pot. Only the big blind calls, who is an OMC reg, which is not ideal, but, we'll take 1 caller. Turn is a 6. With the same thought process, he should never really have 3-5. Any weaker 10 should call. I can get like ace, king, ace, queen to fold or deny equity because this particular OMC thinks I'm very aggressive and loves to call me down with ace high, me specifically, and then laugh in my face. So we're gonna punish him for that. We bet 125. He calls again. He only has about $200 in his stack left, and if I have a favorable river, he's definitely committed, but I'm going to check back most of them. The river's a 4, so if he peeled twice with second pair, he got there as well, which is terrible.
Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts.
When he checks to me, I don't think I can ever get 3 streets from a worse hand. I check it back. He has pocket queens. Did not re-raise at any point in the hand with an overpair and not pre-flop with a premium. We're going to have to remember that and put it into our memory bank on that player because that's a tricky move. So at this point, we rebuy, add on for another $400. Things are not going well early. As we're kind of tilted, we are under the gun with pocket 7s. We're going to make it 15, trying to just build a medium-sized pot, make a set, and turn it around. With 4 callers, plan's working out. Big blind makes it 65. Not even close to enough if he's looking for actual folds. This pot's going to get pretty big. When I call, I know everyone else is definitely going to be priced in. So everyone calls. We are actually going 6 ways, $65 pre-flop to a flop, which comes king 7-4, 2 hearts. Boy, I hope this guy has ace king. It was pretty funny to me at the time because he was in the blind and he clearly didn't know what he was going to do. He had a weird stack sizing. He had about 350. He wanted to get it all in, you could tell, and he thought that if he got it all in, people would fold. That made me believe he had ace king, 100%. He decides to do 105. I do not want any of the other players that called to call with a flush draw and get there. So I almost min click it back, 225. Everyone folds to him. He jams. I snap it off. Very happy I got all the money in here. Turn is the 8 of hearts. River is the 5 of hearts. And he says, nuts. Yeah. That was a bad run out. And at the time, I was honestly, literally just thinking, this is so going in my blood! I was quite mad, actually. I had to run the odds on it very quickly, and it, over a 1K pot gone when I have 87% is pretty irritating, honestly.
My life was a tragedy.
So I have to go grab more money, because they don't let you play anymore unless you have money on the table. Go to the ATM, come back, all the other players greet me like,
you could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
But we're going to turn it around because we don't clickbait on this channel. With 4 limpers to me, I'm on the button with king 9 of diamonds. Play in position, suited king, definitely worth. I'm going to make it $25. 4 callers. We go 5 ways to a flop, which comes 9-2-3. Pretty much perfect. Checks to me, just like my last top pair, top kicker hand. Bet 75. Go for some straightforward value. This hand, the only player that calls is a true lag player. A true loose aggressive calls any 2 cards. When he has a piece, he stays. Not an OMC. This is the situation where you want to value every street. He calls. Turn is a jack. Not ideal, as he could have overs and just bink it. But when he checks to me, bet 125 again, planning to just check down the river and take a decent sized pot. for once in this session. He calls, and the river is the 9 of spades. So it brings backdoor spades, but now I have trips. He checks to me, and this is a card that I am going to put out a river bet on, thinking 9-10 or 8-9. If he somehow had overpair, if he somehow turned a jack, maybe he'll just be a disbeliever. But he's the type of player you want to go for these bets with. So he thinks for at least a minute, and he's just like, I don't believe you. I call, and I have a 9, and he has pocket 7s. I got a loose call there. Which helps to begin the turnaround. A bit later, I have 6-9 of hearts. The table at this point is quite soft. There's many lag players, and get 6 limpers. Button makes it 20. Not even close to enough to get folds. And we go 7 ways to a flop, which comes 8-8-5. 2 diamonds, 1 heart. So as I actually flop a gut shot, and I actually have a really good hand, I check. Hopefully it checks through and I can just chase my gut shot or begin the betting lead if it checks through and a heart comes. Well, it checks all the way to a late position player who bets $50. As I have a lot of draws that are there, I think it's more likely that I can have an 8 here than a pre-flop aggressor. I decide at this point that I'm going to play the hand as if I have an 8. I'm just going to pretend I have the 8, and I'm going to go with it like that. And I don't think I would check raise right now with an 8. I think that I would check raise jam on the turn if I had it. That's the plan at this point. And I also think that he might shut down. Anyway, I'm the only caller. Everyone else folds. And the turn is the 3 of hearts. So as it's an under, as it's a heart, as he could have just diamonds, he doesn't have to even have a hand at all. It was checked all the way to him. He was last to act. I'm definitely gonna try to win here with a really unorthodox move. I lead right out into him for $85. I don't think I do that at all or ever. But I think that if I had an 8 with his stack size, at this point, he has about $230-ish. I don't want him to just be able to jam on me. I want to be able to give myself an opportunity to win without making my hand. If I can name my own price to just bink a heart and then jam on him where he's committed, and I can save $130-ish that I don't have to put in before I see the river, I think it works out quite well for me. So kind of blocker, kind of bluffy, kind of protection, kind of a mixture of all 3 reasons to bet. That's why I lead out. Well, he just calls. Not ideal. I need to get there. River's a 6. Interesting. As I don't think he ever has an 8, and I don't think that he has exactly 7-9, because I blocked that as well. I check, thinking I have the best hand because all the flush draws missed, and he pretty quickly goes all in. Now I have to think for a bit, because he could have pocket 7s. He could have 9s, 10s. I don't think he has anything higher than that. All the draws missed, and I think that on a paired board like that, the hand that I think is the most likely he has at this point is ace 5. I think on the 8-8-5 flop, when it's checked to you, you're going to bet because you think you have the best hand and hope everyone folds and just it's going to go like that. So I call hoping to see a 5. He proudly announces 2 pair. I say, is your 2 pair 8s and 5s? He said, yeah.
I used to think that my life was a tragedy. But now I realize it's a fucking comedy.
So we win that one. That one is interesting. I'll go over one more quick hand. The most aggressive and probably one of the best players in all of Orange City sits down at my table. Table got much worse after that, and I probably should have left, but I was trying to watch the McGregor fight. So he makes it 20. There's 2 callers. I'm on the button with pocket aces. Comment below on what you think the best sizing is with pocket aces on the button, literally under the gun to 20, 2 callers onto you. I do not want to go 4 ways with aces. I think 75-80, I go for at least 3 ways. I want to charge people for weak hands, commit people to play good cards, so it's easier to read post flop if they choose to stay. I make it 120 and everyone folds.
Get what you
Not a huge hand with aces. I'm interested to see what everyone else thinks is the best sizing there. Winning a lot of smallish hands like that, flop and top pair, and, you know, betting, winning, getting a bet here and here. I end up, after 11 hours of play, much longer than I wanted to, 21.74 for a profit of $574, which equates to $52 per hour and 10.4 big blinds an hour. So we're sticking to above that 10 an hour, doing good, getting some profit here and there. If that 12% doesn't hit me, we get a big win, but we'll take it. If you watched all the way to this point, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, say hi to me if you see me in a card room, and again, I'll be in Tampa on Friday. Thank you.